Namaste to all masters, and thank you very much for everyone for joining this session today. So before we start this session, I want to give a little of what I know about Pritha ma'am. Pritha ma'am is like my mentor. She was my teacher for the spiritual tablet. And as today platform is, it's a PMC platform, and we have a speaker from spiritual tablet organization. And as we all are like little bit of aware with the spiritual tablet concepts. But today, what we are going to cover, that ma'am is going to let us know with the session when we are going on. But about Pritha ma'am, she is looking after North India spiritual tablet majorly part. If I'm not wrong, ma'am, please correct me. And about her personal part, like the personal life, what I get to know that ma'am has always been connected to the spirituality since her childhood, and slowly with a young age growing on, and she has explored more and more and got the actual difference between the religion and the spirituality. But we were requesting ma'am to take this topic, difference between the spirituality and religion. Maybe we will be able to take it later on. But yes, in true sense, she was on the spiritual track since long, and she's a guide for a lot of us, a lot of the masters, and making and choosing their path, choosing their purpose, get to connect with their purpose. And I always love to have sessions with ma'am. And yes, ma'am, over to you now. Please take over this session. And before we start, again, I am going to pay the sincere gratitude to Pitame Patriji and our loving mentor, Dr. GK, who had given this beautiful wisdom, which we are implementing in every day-to-day life. Maybe after the session, I will share one of my experience, which I had just experienced before this session with me and Kalpana. And to you all who are here to have this wisdom, and none other than else, Ma'am Pritha, you are here to give us this beautiful wisdom. Thank you everyone for being on this platform. Ma'am, it's over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kanchanji, for your beautiful and kind words. And first and foremost, I like to connect and give my deep gratitude to Brahmarshi Pitama, Subhash Patriji, and Dr. GK, who is the founder of Spiritual Tablets. And I'll connect with Lord Saraswati, the energy of wisdom. And I'll request her to connect with all of you as well, so that what wisdom she wants to give you all through me can be easily given to all of you. Yes, Kanchan, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. So when she asked me about the topic, I said, let's take up uterus, because this is one of my favorite topics. And to all the people who are thinking uterus, or to all the men masters who are available over here, and they must be thinking, so uterus is a topic, so it's not connected to us. No, it is very well connected to all of us, because we both carry feminine and masculine powers inside us. And there has to be balance between both of them. So this will be an interesting topic. And without wasting much time or giving time, it's much ado, I think we should share. Can I share the slides?
Yes, ma'am, you can, please.
So am I the...
Yeah, you will be able to do, ma'am. It's already
can you give me the host or some of the things I can share? No?
You can share even though, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Well, it's telling that starting screen share will probably, so you have to stop the sound, I think, Kanchanji. You're still sharing the sound, I think. Yes, thank you so much. So Kanchan seems to be very excited. That is why she's forgetting.
Yeah, exactly. I always be.
It's good to keep a very nice childlike feeling and childlike attitude inside us. So, friends, when we think about the uterus, what do you think? What we do? What generally comes to our mind? Let's keep an interactive session over here. What we think generally?
It's a female organ.
It's a female organ, right? Very nice. And
Womb, related to womb.
related to
Womb.
related to giving birth, right?
Yes.
And
Yes, yes.
one of the chakra.
One of the chakra, yeah, few parts of it, like a few organs, another mixed with it makes a chakra. Okay. And what it is? So you people have a brief idea that uterus और जिसको हम कहते हैं गर्भाशय, ये क्या है? What it is? So it is that center. It is that center which doesn't only give the birth, but it is a place where everything comes together. Can I just can you give me a second? A second.
All good, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry. So it's a place where everything comes together. Okay. It prepares the nurturing process. It prepares the birthing process. It is the receiving area. It's the nurturing area. And it is the area which actually gives the birth. So since a birth of a female, the uterus is one of the most important organ. Very much the sheath of creativity. Okay. Just I'll request everybody to keep their hands on the uterus. Everybody to keep hands on their belly. सब अपनी हाथ अपनी belly पे रखो. Keep their hands on the abdomen. And first, let's thank it. Have a deep gratitude towards it. That since very early childhood, it has been the seat of all our emotions, of all feelings, of all thoughts. It has been caring and nurturing us. Thank you. Now slowly you can gently open your eyes. So friends, generally on the physical level, uterus or garbhashay, it's a place where the ovum comes, okay, and the ovums gets connected to the uterus. It stays there in the uterine lining, and then slowly and steadily the uterus nourishes the baby, the ovum, to develop into a small fetus, and the fetus, it grows, and then it becomes a full-fledged baby, and then it also helps in the birthing process, because the entire uterine lining, it contracts and then it pushes to have a baby very naturally. This is all in the physical level. But what it is on the intellectual level? Anybody? Anybody? What is uterus in the intellectual level? What do you think? Just be very open. Here, nobody is there to judge anybody. We have all come to that level that we have stopped judging anybody.
Ma'am, on level 1, we studied that uterus represent the minor mistakes of our life. That's what you're asking?
Oh, you're a very good student. Like you can really remember things that, yeah, problems of uterus can be rectified by minor mistakes, by correcting the minor mistakes. Very right, very apt. To the intellectual level, uterus, as I said, is the place where the ideas come. Okay, it takes up the ideas, it nurtures the ideas, then it nourishes the ideas, and generally it forms the ideas. And that will help you to execute. Okay, so in that sense, uterus is very, very important. And as we know from spiritual tablets, that every physical problem has a spiritual solution. But now I think everybody is very, very, careful with this statement that spiritual intellect is the root and physical health is the fruit. Right? Whatever disease we are facing, or whatever irritation we are having in our lives, or whatever problems we are facing, any financial, any social, any physical, it is because of our thoughts. It is because if we apply the spiritual thoughts, then we will be able to overcome all the problems that we are facing, that we know very well. So for creating everything and for clearing all the problems that we are facing in the physical level, which is related to uterus, we have to cater to that intellectual uterus. It is very, very important that we take care of the uterus. Now, what do you mean? What do we generally mean by, raising a child? Or like, why does a child come to us? Why? Because of our karmas? Why does a child? Why, Namita ji, a child is born to you if you are a mother? Why do you think?
Uh, the child chose us to be as a parent so they can have soul progress, I guess. Like the environment he wants to learn things. Um, yeah, that's the way my thinking goes.
Okay, that's great. Wonderful. Wonderful. And Rameshji, why does a child? You look a bit like senior in the group. So if you have children, so why do you think the children have a bond to you?
Maybe ask in Hindi, ma'am.
ओके रमेश जी आपको आपको ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि आपके जो बच्चे हुए हैं वो आपको क्यों हुए कैन यू जस्ट अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ रमेश जी कैन यू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ
क्योंकि जो हमारे बच्चों ने अपने कर्मों के हिसाब से बर्थ लेना था, अपनी एक्सपीरियंस करना था, उसने हमें चूज किया, हमारी सोल को चूज किया।
ओके वंडरफुल
क्योंकि जो हमने
Okay.
एक्सपीरियंस के साथ कर सकते हैं, हम और कहीं नहीं कर सकते।
एंड आपको लगता है कि आपके जो बच्चे हैं वही आपके बच्चे हैं कि आपके और भी बच्चे हैं मींस इंटेलेक्चुअली बेसिस पे आर योर ओन दैट फिजिकल चिल्ड्रन डू यू थिंक और ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपने ऐसे अपनी लाइफ में बहुत लोगों को नर्चर किया है बहुत लोगों को सिखाया है बहुत लोगों को हेल्प किया है
मैंने बहुत लोगों को हेल्प किया है और
तो
कभी
आपको नहीं
तो
लगता है कि उनको उनके अंदर जब आप उनको हेल्प करते हैं तो आपके अंदर वो पितृत्व का भाव आया है
आया भाव आया है। और सेकेंडली काफी तो लोग ना, यानी कि जैसे मेरी लाइफ में, यानी कि जब से मैं ध्यान में आया हूँ, मेरे को 9 साल हो गए, काफी लोग ऐसे यानी कि ना मेरे को मिलते हैं जैसे हमारी पास्ट लाइफ में मिले हों हम।
वेरी
बहुत
गुड
लोगों के साथ हुआ है।
वेरी नाइस वंडरफुल
और
सो
इवन के यानी कि काफी, यानी कि मेरे साथ कम से कम ही जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है 9 साल में, कम से कम 15-20 लोग ऐसे हैं जो मेरे को कहते हैं कि हम आपको पुराने जानते हैं।
ओह वंडरफुल दैट्स ग्रेट बहुत ही अच्छा है somebody has raised their hand Kalpana ji
Yeah, it's me, ma'am.
yes
With your question, ma'am, I think kids will come to us if they think, we can support them physically, both mentally, and if we are in the same level of understanding, so they will choose us, so that they are sure, okay, these could be my parents. They suit me, So,
Yeah. Okay. Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
So all of us have we are on the same roadmap or we think on the same line. The process of thought or the line of the thought is same that the children choose us because they have come here to get some, learn some lessons and we were the right womb for them or we were the right parents for them, right? We all are thinking on the same man. So what happens is when we are giving birth, so what does happen? What is the general physical process of having a child? Physically, having child means husband and wife coming together or a couple. They both come together, have good time, and they think of conceiving a child. They conceive a child, okay? The sperm and the egg, they come together, they form a ovum, and then it develops into a fetus and then a child. And after that, what do? When the child is born, is a role of ourselves is complete. जब बच्चे पैदा हो जाते हैं, तो do we leave them in the hospital or come back? No. We carry them home, right? We carry them home, we nurture them, provide them with all, the food, shelter and everything, right? And उसके बाद again, our duties never end. We help them to choose the right profession. And after the profession, when they are settled financially, we'll help them to, get them married or help them to decide. The kids decide from themselves, but we are always there for a support. And after that, then they will have the children. But our duty never ends. We are on and on. We are the circle. The cycle continues. This is just on the physical level. So when we are doing all this so nicely, we are doing it all so perfectly, why there is so much of problems that we face? Why all the women, I think 80% of women have menstrual problems. Why? Because generally, if we are said that the main role of a woman, not first and foremost role, but the main role of a woman is about nurturing, right? And we are giving birth. If we are doing it, then still why we have so much of problem? Have we questioned ourselves anytime? Why? So what happens? This is a physical aspect of the uterus, but there is a spiritual aspect as well. When we all over here have come to this level, and trust me, when you have come to this level, you all are divine souls. You all are mature souls. You're all old souls. So when we are old souls and when we are divine souls, we have the capacity and potential of having lots and lots of spiritual children. Like Ramesh ji ने बताया कि मैंने बहुत लोगों को help किया है, बहुत लोगों को guide किया है. So whenever we are doing this, are not we becoming parents to them? Right? And when we are doing them, the uterus, we are strengthening our uterus. Because its major role is of nurturing, nourishing, and raising. Every moment, whatever thoughts is coming to, whatever emotions we are feeling, it goes in our organs, right? It is stored in our organs. Like hurt is stored in the heart, anger is stored in the liver, right? Shame, guilt are stored in our Swadhisthana chakra areas. So whatever emotions, regret, whatever emotions we feel are always stored in our organs. So just think, the uterus has been storing so much of feelings, emotions. And when we raise spiritual children, we are just making the uterus very happy. Now, what is spiritual children? Spiritual children are those children which they are not our physical children. Obviously, we not have given birth, but they are dependent on us spiritually. They look upon to us for guidance. For example, Brahmarshi Subhash Patriji, he had so much of spiritual children. We were all children to him. We always used to look to him for guidance, for knowledge, for wisdom. Right? So now as well, we have to raise our own spiritual children. We have to be very careful, cautious of knowing our spiritual children and raising them and nurturing them. This is a very, very important concept. Very important concept. So we have to be really very careful. And if you have any doubts on any point, you can just raise your hand and I'll get back to you explaining. So how can we strengthen our uterus? How? Very easy. By teaching spirituality, by spreading the knowledge of spirituality, the right spirituality, where we are able to help others to come out of their own fears. Okay? We can arrange meditation centers, we can arrange meditation workshops, like Kanchan is doing. She's arranging workshops online. So she's strengthening her uterus. She's strengthening her organs. You can always be a spiritual mentor to so many people around. Small things also. Just, talking to people about meditation. Whenever you are, you're walking or sitting in a subway, when you're traveling in the train or you flying, you can just give them a thought. Like, do you know how many thoughts come to your mind in a single day? Probably they don't even know about that. And you can just tell that we do a meditation class. And you know what? This 60 to 70,000 thoughts, they are doing so many wrong things to you. Just a small line also. You never know. A black hole is a small hole, it seems, but it has got an entire universe and galaxies. So whatever we are doing is always making a shift. It's always making a shift. Whatever thought, whatever words we are speaking is changing the entire frequency of the universe. Because words are energy. Everything is energy. Just write big letters in your house. Everything is energy. I'll tell you everybody, just write it down. So you'll be always very cautious of your thoughts, about your actions, and about your speech. This is conscious learning, conscious living. So what happens is generally, we are all into the process of unconscious learning. We learn from our family, we learn from our friends, we learn from our professors, we learn from our elderlies, we learn from our peer groups. Okay, chalo ye bahut acha, this is something really nice. Let's go to this workshop and attend. Let's go to an art workshop and attend something. Or, learn about Mahabharata, learn about Ramayana. Somebody who has been born into a family who really worships Lord Shiva is unconsciously learning so much of Lord Shiva. Right? These are all unconscious learning. But now, from this moment, if we want to really strengthen ourselves, we have to change our process from the unconscious learning to conscious learning. This is where awareness and meditation plays an important role. So, what did Kanchan do just before the session? She just sat for 5 minutes and made us do a simple meditation of 5 minutes, where we were disconnecting ourselves with all unnecessary thoughts which we were into. So that was a small paradigm shift. So in this way, we are doing conscious learning right now. We are learning, we know that we have to learn this, and we are learning it consciously. So the very first and foremost important thing of the uterus is acknowledging the uterus and changing ourselves from unconscious learning to conscious learning. So that is why I told you to keep your hands on your belly, on your abdomen, so that you acknowledge it. Okay, you are there. And every month, you will be helping me out. Every month, the uterus continuously is helping us out. Okay? So friends, one first most important thing was that we have to acknowledge. The second most important thing was that we have to change ourselves from unconscious learning to conscious learning. We have learned a lot, but what is the importance of that learning? Okay, we know a lot about somebody who has been born into Vaishnava family knows that Krishna is the ultimate Lord. But have we really learned the Bhagavad Gita, which Lord himself tells? So from that unconscious learning to conscious learning, we change ourselves when we try to read Bhagavad Gita and learn it and know the actual meaning of it. So Patriji's Bhagavad Gita is very nice. You can go and read about it. And we have a lot of other books also on Bhagavad Gita. So we can go. So this is a process of a paradigm shift where we are, changing ourselves from unconscious learning to conscious learning. Now, generally, what problems a uterus has? Can you name some? Or if anybody has some problems over here. Everybody can have some water?
Ma'am, you just
Everybody please
mentioned
have
that we ladies these days have menstrual problem, periods problem. So that is one of it.
Mhm. So whenever I take class, I generally ask everybody to have water beside them so that you keep on having water. Because water remembers everything. Okay. And if we take water, the molecules of water remembers everything. Water has a deep, deep memory. So whatever we are learning assimilates in us very nicely. Very nicely. So I always tell people to have a sip of water when I take up classes. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Tell me now.
So you like I said, uterus have like periods problem. You mentioned menstrual problems. There can be cancer in uterus. That's another problem. And UTI is another problem. Urine infection, another problem. UTI is the advanced stage of urine infection. And cervical cancer, I'm not sure if it is in uterus.
Cervical cancer, okay, right? It's a
Yes.
part of the entire birthing process and this, yes, it is. And
the system always a quite
Ectopic
common
pregnancy.
problem these days. PCOD and PCOS as a
PCOD,
problem in
yes,
young age.
it's very, very common, very, very common these
Yep.
days.
Infertility,
Very
ma'am?
common. Infertility, yes. Infertility was a thing I was actually looking for. I thought everybody will say infertility only. And
I don't know how to say that word. Yeah, ectopic pregnancy.
okay,
Whatever.
okay,
Yes.
okay, right. Okay, fine. Yeah, there are a
So
lot
which
of
pattern
pregnancies.
might be over like the regular periods pattern? Bleeding
Yes.
issues,
So,
more profuse sometimes.
yes, very yes. So, uterus problems or the menstrual problems can be as simple as period cramps, excessive period cramps, which one experiences, to irregular periods, to like heavy bleeding during periods, to a very irritable and difficult menopause, infertility, okay, very less bleeding, periods coming very delayed periods, PCOD, miscarriage. So there is n number of problems that is associated with periods, with our entire birthing process, because every month we are having this divine opportunity of giving birth. Every month we are having the eggs, and if they are not utilized properly, if they are not, then it goes into a waste, right? But every month, the nature gives us a chance of being creative and giving birth to a whole individual or whole entity, be it an idea, be it in a thought, be it whatever. But every month, the entire cosmos is giving us this opportunity, which otherwise males don't have. Now, the other feature of uterus is also a Swadhisthana chakra. Somebody just told that Swadhisthana chakra. It is uterus is related to Swadhisthana chakra. Very nice, very nice. Now we know what happens. Basically, all the emotions of guilt, regret, hatred, shame, these are all associated with Swadhisthana chakra. Whatever. And Swadhisthana chakra is mainly related to our water element. Everybody, now you're all like very great students. And water, what does water mean? What does water mean? Water, whenever we think of water, we think of something that is flowing out, right? Something that is moving, something which is not stagnant, something which is very flexible, something which is very nourishing, something which is very healing, right? Something which is very necessary, right? Something which is one of the most important elements. Something that can be mixed with anything, right? Now, don't you think these are all the characteristics of the entire birthing system? Can't you relate it? So what happens when we stop ourselves from, all these characterization of ourselves? We block this. Then there is blockage in uterus as well. When we don't let our energies flow easily, when we are not flexible enough, when we don't think that we are important, right? Then we are blocking ourselves. We are blocking ourselves. So, very nice thing, which one you should do, is being aware of ourselves. So, what you can do is, whenever you are having any kind of emotional outburst, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're feeling overwhelmed by some other people's reaction towards yourself, just journal it. Just journal it out. Just write it. Or one simple remedy you can do is, you can just feel your feet on the ground and just tell whatever energies this person is giving to me, or whatever thoughts that is coming to me, I'm giving this back to the Mother Earth. She will take it and she will help me to release it. These two are very important thing which we can do when we are facing the problems, because a lot of people ask me that, madam, what should we do with our emotions? We feel that we are getting hurt. It's okay. I know that when we are feeling hurt, it is so sad inside. So when we are feeling sad and we are feeling hurt, we are aware that, the person in front of me wants to hurt me and I'm feeling that hurt. So what should we do with the feeling? So we can give that hurt feeling to the Mother Earth and tell that, Mother Earth, it's up to you. How do you transform this energy? Let the Mother Earth, she's healing. She will transform this energy. Or otherwise, just journal it out. Journaling it out releases everything to the universe. Okay. Now the second thing is, like, we have to be flexible. What's flexibility? What is flexibility? Anybody?
Ma'am means go with the flow.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, go with the flow.
It's like when we
Yeah.
try to force things, like whatever the universe is giving us, we should accept it. And
Wonderful.
because if we try to suppress it or we force to stop it, it cause suffering, it cause pain, and other things. It's just basically whatever comes your way, just accept it and try to adjust your thinking pattern according to it, and work on it.
When somebody tells you something, or it's like you had just a small quarrel with somebody. So जैसे हमारा किसी से लड़ाई होता है, sorry, I just forgot that I have to tell that in Hindi also. So जब हमारा किसी से लड़ाई होता है, so is it hard to stop speaking to that person, or it is hard to speak to that person? Just
Ask
tell
that
me one
again,
thing.
ma'am. Sorry, ask again.
So when we have a quarrel or something to a person, with a person, so is it easy to talk to that person, or it is difficult to hold ourselves back to with speaking to somebody?
Both.
Both. When we stop ourselves, don't you think we have to put up more energy to stop? Because
Yes.
speaking, because talking, because sharing is a natural instinct, right?
Yes.
And to stop, we have to put a lot of energy. And then there is heaviness in our body. Then we have pain
Yes.
in the entire organ. And then we feel energyless. We feel that we don't have energy. The energy is completely, we are drained out, absolutely drained out. The energy body gets severely damaged, and then it comes to physical level. Then our immune system gets seriously in problem. Right? So, whatever, like if our kids also tell us something, if our kids also tell, don't we think that we immediately give them, love? A small kid is shouting at us or something, that we go and give the kid a big hug. And the kid starts crying in your arms. And then everything is fine. It happens in that way. Generally, when we grow old, our ego comes. But our heart is always pure. So we have to, connect with that deep heart inside us and feel that emotion inside our uterus. And we have to always be in a flow. Just flow. For that flow, if you're not able to forgive that person, face to face, we can just sit in meditation and ask for forgiveness. That, okay, I'm not able to speak to you because of my limitations. But yes, universe, please help me to overcome this limitation. And please let me talk. Please forgive me for whatever. Probably your words have, the person was expecting too much from you, and probably the other person is always hurt. It's also, but the person has always been hurt. So you can just sit in meditation and ask for forgiveness. So these small exercises which we do is consciously changing ourselves. And the fourth thing, which is very important, and it is related to Swadhisthana Chakra, is the feeling of enjoyment, the feeling of the feel of now, the feel of enjoying your life. So Sir always used to tell this, that whenever two people come together in love, creativity happens. Okay? So in that way, same manner, we should always feel that beauty and love inside with the entire universe, with the entire cosmos. Means being romantic is not just being having a romance relationship with a particular person, but you can be very open to the universe. Like you should enjoy the rain. You should enjoy the mountains. You should enjoy a small plant. You can enjoy the rainbow. You can enjoy music. You can enjoy art. So friends, go and find out what is that which gives you a lot of enjoyment. आप जाके पता कीजिए कि आपको सच्ची खुशी क्या चीज में मिलती है. क्या वो नृत्य में मिलती है? क्या वो संगीत में मिलता है? क्या वो बारिश में खड़ा होकर भीगने में मिलता है? कि वो मिट्टी की खुशबू अच्छी लगती है? या मुझे कुछ स्कल्पटिंग करने में अच्छा लगता है? मुझे क्या अच्छा लगता है? आप अपनी एज के बारे में बिल्कुल मत सोचिए. जस्ट डोंट थिंक अबाउट द एज यू आर इन, बट व्हाट गिव्स यू प्लेजर इन अ पर्सन. आप अपने पार्टनर में क्या खोजते हैं? When you have sex with your partner, आप क्या खोजते हैं? You're seeking pleasure, right? You want to be one with that person. And that oneness gives you happiness, pleasure. You think that this is the ultimate thing. In the same manner, आपकी आत्मा को वो खुशी चाहिए. वो आत्मा चाहता है किसी के साथ एक होना, नेचर के साथ, संगीत के साथ, नृत्य के साथ, कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट. You have to find out something that gives you pleasure in your life. Friends, I'll tell you, I know this is like, I don't know if I should tell this or not, but a person, a person who is a sex addict doesn't know that he wants pleasure not out of sex, but he wants to be one with somebody. And if we work on that person, knowing his other pleasures in life, that the person actually is a very beautiful soul. And with that potential of having pleasure through many things, but he doesn't know, he's ignorant of that fact. So we help them to know. We engage or channelize his energy into some kind of music. And then beautifully that person comes out of it. But before that, we have to have this eye of non-judgment. Right? So there is one very beautiful concept ज्ञानेंद्रियालु plus soul is equals to physical body means हमारे जो पंच ज्ञानेंद्रियां हैं और आत्मा मिला के हमारा ये पूरा फिजिकल जो अन्नमय कोश है ये बनाती है। और हमारे जितने भी कर्मेंद्रिय जो कर्मेंद्रिय हैं, यानी कि हमारे दोनों हाथ, दोनों पैर, हमारे एक्सक्रीशन ग्लैंड्स एंड हमारे रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स एंड आवर स्पीच, ये और एंटायर प्रकृति, ये होते हैं पुरुष। ओके, एंड व्हेन प्रकृति एंड पुरुष एक साथ आते हैं तब क्या होता है? तब कुछ नया होता है। ठीक है, जब शिव आता है, शिव इज एट महापुरुष और आदि पुरुष, एंड जब पार्वती आते हैं, दैट इज प्रकृति, जब वो मिलते हैं तब कुछ सुंदर पैदा होता है, अति सुंदर। So in this manner also, when a husband and a wife comes together, they have a child. In the same manner, when this soul and this entire sense organs has gaining something pleasure out of the entire universe, helping with our karmendriya, we are able to have something which is very divine, something which is very beautiful. So that is an expanded form of us. We become profound. We become so expanded. Are you not feeling, all of you feeling very expanded right now? When you just think of yourself enjoying one musical concert, it's just not enjoying that particular concert, but you are becoming an expanded Chaitanya at that particular moment. Okay, anybody has any doubts still here?
All good, ma'am.
Oh, great. Fine. Yeah, Shivani, yes.
Ma'am, are we saying that, you know, we said that we have many PCOD and things like that? Are we saying that when we are making our uterus happy, when we have lots of spiritual children, that problem should resolve automatically?
To a certain extent, it will definitely. So there are many aspects of PCOD also. So I'll tell you when the class goes on. But they have to be careful on all the aspects. Like they have to be flexible. They should enjoy, they should gain pleasure from the things which the soul wants to take pleasure, but they think that they can have pleasure from the other things. Okay, they should know their spiritual children and raise them. So there are a lot of things. And when we work on them, they can come out of PCOD. A lot of people have come out of it.
Okay.
Out of it. So we know that very well. In every class, I think everybody tells you that we have decided we have a soul plan. Obviously, everybody till now, after reading so much of Robert Schwartz's book or so much Upanishad also, it's in all Upanishads and on all books, many books, it is very clearly written that yes, we definitely have a soul plan. And there's a major soul plan, and then there are small soul plan. But there is one major thing which we want to learn, right? So what happens? We come here to fulfill that. Fulfill that are the purpose of life. And if somebody has not till known their purpose of life and they really wanted to learn about that, please read this book, Ikigai. That book is really going to help you a lot. If somebody has not read that book, please get a grab of it and read the book Ikigai and do all the exercises which is told. Because a lot of people ask this question, Ki, Madam, we don't know about Ikigai. We don't know about what is the purpose of our life. Some people, like some masters who have reached their age of like 60, 70, they are also like, they don't know what is their purpose of life. So this book is very nice. Please go and buy it and read it. If you don't want to buy it, if I have a PDF version, I will share it with Kanchanji. So Kanchanji can circulate this. So only like few souls know about their soul plan. And, you know, they take up the responsibilities. And while others don't know their soul plan, the uterus problems comes to them. So your life purpose and your action should be perfectly in tandem. They should resonate each other. Like, for example, I will tell you, there was a master who knew the purpose of the life very well, but didn't have enough courage or enough strength, or couldn't come out of the spiritual laziness and doing the purpose of life, executing it, or taking up right actions to fulfill it. The master was having lot of problems, much more problems than a normal person. Why? You know, I'll tell a very short story. So what happens? A donkey and a tiger was fighting. Okay. The donkey said, the cloud is pink in color. And the tiger said, can't you see the cloud is, the sky is blue in color? The donkey said, can't you see the cloud, the entire sky is pink in color? So they were having a bit quarrel between themselves. So the lord of the jungle is lion. So they went to the lion and they asked, the tiger said, you know what? This donkey is really mad. He's telling the entire sky is pink. But you know it very well, Lord, that the sky is blue in color. So the donkey said, you have to do something, some justice. This tiger has gone mad. So you know what? The donkey was given, 10 thrashings. And the tiger was given 100 thrashings. So the tiger said, my God, I can't believe that, the jungle, the lord of the jungle, you, the lion, is afraid of a donkey. This is what the justice you're doing. The lion said, you knew it was a donkey and still you were fighting with him. You know that he didn't have brains, but still you're fighting. And you knowing that you are a tiger, you have so much of potential and you're still wasting your time fighting with a donkey. So, the nature punishes you in a manner, or the nature wants to give, not punishes is still a negative thing. The nature wants to remind you in a very, very profound manner, in a big manner, in a colossal manner, that you have to know your potential. So when we know the purpose, it's just not knowing the purpose, but also taking up plans and executing them so that we can fulfill our problems. Now, generally, now everything is clear till here it's clear. Now I'll go to specific problems. Okay. So the first problem that generally people have is lot of bleeding or no bleeding during their periodic cycle. Okay. Generally, whatever bleeding problems or any blood relating problems is generally related with the circulatory forces. The circulatory forces like the blood, the water. What is in circulation? What is movement? Energy. Energy is always moving. And what energy what energy we know? Can anybody tell? What are the energies when we generally come across?
Electricity.
We can see, we can see in form. One is the breath. The breath is our energy, right? And through breath, prana goes inside it. Okay, so that is a prana energy, pranic energy, the cosmic energy, right? And then the food we eat, right? Food is a form of energy, which we constantly take. Food in the form of physical food and the thoughts. Okay. The speech is another form of energy, right? That we always use. Money is another form of energy. We always keep on telling, like, money should be in circulation. If we keep hoarding the money will leave us. Let's have water. Let's have water. Generally, we have cosmic energy. We have food energy. We have the energy on the basis of money. And our position energy in the sense where we are placed. The positional energy is also a very strong form of energy, where in what frequency are we there? What is the frequency? What is our level of frequency which we are in? Fine. So here, what is happening? A very, 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 very disbalance in the energy which we are actually given. So how do we earn that energy, and how we are using that energy, and where are we saving that energy is very important. What is happening when people don't have bleeding at all? What does that mean? हमारे पास कुछ है ही नहीं देने को और हमको देना है, तो हम क्या दे सकते हैं? हम क्या दे सकते हैं? If we don't have anything, can we give anything? If we don't have love, can we give love? No. So when people don't see, they say हमको bleeding ही नहीं होता है, because they don't feel that, they don't have enough. So energy wise उनको बहुत अच्छा होना है. That is why we tell them to do a lot of meditation and have enough cosmic power. First, try to gain it. So energy wise, you have to be very strong. Then you'll be able to start the process of bleeding. So what happens in PCOD? What? The people they don't menstruate at all. Their menstrual cycle is always delayed, right? Who was asking this question?
It was Shivani.
Yeah, Shivani ji. So what happens in PCOD? We generally don't, our period cycle just keep on delaying. It's very irregular, right? So energy wise, we are draining so much. हमारे तिजोरी में पैसा ही नहीं है, लेकिन हम चाहते हैं दान करना. कर पाएंगे? बैंक में बैलेंस में है ही नहीं. Bank is overdraft. PCOD means you have overdraft. Simple.
Ma'am, can I share something?
Yeah, sure.
I have PCOD problem myself, and since the beginning. And
Great.
when you're saying that we have to gain energy through meditation, I've been meditating for 8 months. And when we are taking, spiritual tablet lessons, they said that if you get water experiences, that means you have enough positive energy. So I had the water experiences in my meditation, and then
So
that means,
what water experience did you have?
so I see a glass of water, a rain, a lake, ocean, waterfall. These were all coming, and they just came in the sequence. So,
Okay, wonderful.
so, and I was told to go towards the wisdom which I have started. So now,
Wonderful.
so I am above 40 at the moment, and I have PCOD since the beginning, from the early age. Now, even after from 8 months that I have positive energy as per the experiences, still it's delayed.
Till it's delayed. Okay, fine. So what happens? You said you have this issue of PCOD since childhood, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a problem that has been with you since ages, right?
Yep.
Since years,
Yep.
right? So it will probably take few more months to come out of it. Or probably there is 1, 2, 3 more elements which you have to add, and you'll see in no time it's going to be normal again. So you'll come to know when I'm telling you more things.
Yep.
Fine. That you are going on a very right track, but just few more things you have to add so that it becomes, because the problem, there is not a single solution. There has to be like 2, 3 things. Like for a simple hair fall also, the doctor doesn't give us just one lotion or one serum to apply on the hair. But the doctor will say, then you should have iron tablets also. You should have calcium tablets also. You should take this hair fall shampoo also, and then you should take this hair serum also, and folic acid tablet also. These are like 5 combinations. You take all them together, and then you'll come out of this hair solution very fine. So gaining that spiritual, now you are becoming very good in that. You have enough energies. Now, how to reinforce this energy furthermore, you'll come to know. Okay? So, generally, person who has irregular periods, that means they are very disbalanced in gaining that energy and spending that energy. Or otherwise, whatever energy I am gaining in, like any person, like the person is getting a lot of energy, a lot of meditation the person is doing. But unfortunately, the person is not saving much. Jesse, for example, I'm earning every month 1 lakh rupees, but I'm spending the money every day, every month 1 lakh rupees. Can I save something and donate? Can I? No. I know very well that I am not using this 1 lakh rupees in a proper manner. I'm not using it in a good manner. I'm just spending it in nonsensical things, unnecessary things, which is not giving me returns, which is not helping me out. So I'm having a major disbalance. So when these kind of disbalance come, then there is irregular periods. Now comes अचानक से bleeding, like sudden bleeding हो जाता है. We don't know, we didn't have any periods, we didn't have any dates, but suddenly I started bleeding of nowhere. My due dates, like my periods date was on the 30th of the month, but I don't know why in the mid-cycle only I've started bleeding. This is such an emergency thing. Or my period cycle has started reducing. Means twice in a month I have started. Recently, we had a problem where the patient God was telling that my monthly cycle generally has reduced from 28 to 21 days. Every 20 days, I am bleeding. This is an emergency thing, right? So this indicates that there has to be a shift in their lifestyle, in their earning, their earnings, or the place they are suddenly residing. There has to be certain change. The uterus is telling this is not the place you should be. You are very wrong in your position. Or this doesn't mean, अब आप लोग में से बहुत लोग पूछ सकते हैं कि मैडम हम तो बाहर नहीं जा सकते हैं. We are like based out of here. We are based out of California. We are based out of Sydney. We are based out of India. So we cannot change our place. Place also means position. If you are in some other position, please change your position. Means you can take some other job. Or if you are a manager, you can be in a senior manager. Or you can take up other responsibilities. Okay. Which will resonate with your plan a lot. For example, I took the responsibility or a position of the director, because I knew this was going to resonate with my purpose of life a lot. Okay. So, इसमें भी changes है. Now changing, what does change mean? For a new meditator, this is different, and for a senior meditator, is different. So for a new meditator, it can be like, we can tell them to, change. Change means they can start meditating a lot, or they can start visiting some pyramids, or they can start helping in organizing meditation camps or retreats. Okay. And for senior, it is like, now it's time for them. Senior meditators means the universe is giving you an ultimatum. Please do it as fast as possible. Okay. Now, friends, what other infertility? No, I think others are not, but I'll just tell you about infertility also. So other problems are like infertility. So infertility generally comes when we are not having enough pleasure in our life, when we have stored so much of negative emotions in our uterus. We have been bombarding everything in our uterus. We are neglecting our feminism. Feminism means nurturing. Feminism doesn't mean being a victim. Feminism is empowering. When we think that we should go out and prove ourselves by taking up a job and taking an emotional talk, going through an emotional turmoil again and again and again, always being bombarded with so many things. And what we are doing? Everything we are storing in our uterus. The uterus blocks. It wants to close down. It wants to just stop itself from doing anything. Then you think everything is fine, but why I'm having this fertility issue, infertility issue? Just acknowledge, just embrace yourself. Just go with the flow. Just enjoy every moment. Just be happy with you being a strong feminine. Feminism is not being a victim. Just be very clear with this. Embrace ourselves. When we embrace our uniqueness, everything's fall in the correct place. The one more important thing is uterus and the ovaries and the fallopian tube and all this vagina, everything completes a female cycle. And the cycle is generally a month, 1 month. So to come out of all the uterus problems, a person is generally asked to write monthly soul program. Very important. A monthly soul program should be written every month. Shivani ji.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is with infertility. I've heard they say that, when we have children, it's a kind of karma exchange as well, because from past life, they have to come in your life to give you lessons and you need to take lessons. So they say when you don't have children, when people don't have children, that means, their karmas is cleared and there is no baggage. And that's why they don't have children. How does it relate? Is it true or false?
Okay, very interesting question. So what happens is that your karma is clear or not, this is not to be said or done, because nobody can say whether the karma is clear or not. Okay. The thing is, your soul had decided to become, you don't bear physical children, but the soul wanted a lot of spiritual children. All the big masters, generally, many of them don't have physical children. Like, for example, Dr. Newton and Lakshmi, they don't have physical children, but they have n numbers of spiritual children, right? So it's a thing which the soul had decided earlier. But when we come to this knowledge, that, okay, I knew my purpose, that I don't want a physical children, but I'm ready to embrace all the spiritual children around myself and be happy with them. Then I'm spiritually enlightened. But if I don't know that that I don't want to have this, we are always in a misery. So there is one very great master, Pauni Amma. So Avni Amma. So she didn't, she was always, she used to meditate because she wanted to bear children, because then she was always infertile. But during one meditation, she got this enlightenment ki, I'm just not here to be a mother of a single child, but I'm here to be a mother of several children.
Ma'am, this comes true when you are in spirituality and you know what are spiritual children. With the patient God, who doesn't know anything about that, how do you relate it with a general, woman?
Okay, so we also don't know whether the soul has planned, what plans the soul has. So we have to always help them to come out of this fertility issue. So we have to always help them to meditate, to have Sajjan Sangatya. And when they are really good at it, this wisdom will fall on them. They will know their choice. They will know what is in store for them.
Yep.
So for every patient God, we tell them first to go for at least 40 days continuous meditation. This is the only reason.
Yep. Second question I had, ma'am, is with, you explain why infertility and things like happen. Can you please shed some light why ovarian cancer or the cancer happens?
Okay. Yes, definitely. Just before that, I'll just finish this slides and I'll just come back to you.
Yeah,
so generally what happens, we have some soul scannings, or that soul scanning is something in spiritual tablets, where how will you come to know how is generally we diagnose about it. Let's have some water. Just have a sip of water. So you remember the soul scanning. So Sora has given a very nice way of diagnosing. Diagnosing is to know where we are, what is the problem. So during the dreams, we can have some visions. During meditation, we have some experience. While reading some books, we have experiences. We have experience in repeated terms, in repeated patterns, coincidences. So when we have experience or visions related to water, related to small children, related to babies, related to bleeding, related to anybody being pregnant or seeing a lot of pregnant females, and doormats, because you all are very great learners and good students. So you know that minor mistakes can help us to come out of our Swadhisthana chakra problems. So doormats, honeybees, footwear, etc. will help us to know about the skull scanning. Okay, friends? So here I come complete with my presentation, and coming back to you, Shivani-ji. Regarding the ovarian cancer. So cancer can be at any part of our body, okay? It can have in a breast, it can have in your vagina, it can have in your liver, mouth, wherever. So ovarian cancer generally means we are not very good in terms, we are not having our Swadhisthana chakra balance. There are a lot of karmas, there are a lot of baggages of the entire soul family, which we store in our cells, in our bodies. Generally, for cancer patients, we tell the entire family to sit and meditate. Not a single person. The person who is having cancer, we not just tell that person to meditate, but because the person is carrying the entire family baggage, entire soul family baggage as well, we tell to do as much of group meditation which they can do. So generally, when we are not very good at our creation, so what does that seed means? Ovary generally is the seed of the seeds. It has all the eggs. So you have all the potential in you, but you're not giving much weightage to all the potential which you have. Right? You should know what is your potential. And then just come out of those blockages. Release as much as blockages you can. And then you can come out of ovarian cancer. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Pragna. Yes, Prasna ji.
Hello, Ji. I have a question related to period problems. So you are telling if we are using excessive energy, like overdrafting, then we're gonna have the issue. What it means, like overly using the energy?
Minor mistakes when we are not very good with our speech, with our thought, okay, with our position, with our power, with our money, then we are doing a lot of mistakes and we are consuming and draining ourselves. So the 5 things in minor mistakes, if you all remember, was our speech power, our position power, our money power, okay, our thought power. So these all, if combined, we are not using them in a proper manner. If unnecessarily we are speaking, if we are unnecessarily thinking, if we are using our position unnecessarily in a wrong manner, obviously we are overdrafting ourselves. So it may happen that, a lot of people are meditating a lot, but they are not aware of their using their energies. Where should we do? That is why Patri sir always used to say, go for Mona, go for Mona. I keep on telling this story again and again. Patri sir, when he had come to Bhubaneswar and we were going out to Angul, another place to for a for a workshop. Sir said, I'm not going to have any breakfast today. But we all had prepared so much of breakfast because the master had come. So always everybody was so excited to have breakfast with him. So I asked, generally everybody was asking, sir, fruits. Sir, if parotha banaya hai, sir was very, very fond of parathas, aloo paratha. So, sir, paratha banaya lenge. So we thought ki sir, paratha ka naam sun ke sir le lenge. Sir said, I won't have. Sir, okay, theek hai, fruits. Thoda sa fruits lenge. Sir said, I won't have. Sir, pack karwa le, rasta ke liye pack karwa le. So should we get it packed for, because it is a long journey, like it will take 3 to 4 hours to reach. So if you're not feeling something to like, have it here. So we can, get it packed and we can have en route, we can have it. So said no. And when he sat in the car, he said, thrice you wasted your energy. When I said no, it means no. You asked, fruits lele. You asked, Gana khada pack karwa le. Sir, ye banaya hai. So you have to be so meticulous. So meticulous. Because you are more responsible. As a meditator, as a spiritual seeker, as mentors, you are more responsible. The person who is in highest authority is the person who is the most person who is responsible and accountable. You will never see Narendra Modi speaking unnecessary. Right? Because he is using his power, his position, his speech, his time in a beautiful manner. So time, speech, power, money, and position. These are 5 things which you have to be very careful about. Then no overdraft will happen. So always try to speak. When you speak, think that my speech, is it going to be beneficial for others? If not, please keep your mouth shut. It's better that we keep ourselves.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Ma'am, I
Ma'am,
don't have any question, but I want to say something.
Yes, yes.
I attended one of your session while in level 1 in spiritual tablet. And when you
Okay.
talk, it feels like, keep on listening to you. You talk so nicely. So I don't have any words to express, it's just so mesmerizing. It's just, I can listen to you hours and hours and hours. It's like the way you talk, the way you speak, it's really, really, good. That's it. I just wanted to say since the beginning of the session.
Thank you so much, Shivani ji. So Shivani ji is using her speech in a very right manner. So when she's speaking, she's appreciating. And appreciation is increasing the frequency of the entire. So you see, every time when, so appreciation, orientation is a very nice form of increasing the vibration energy of the place. So thank you so much, Shivani ji. I hope my husband
Thank
could
you,
also
ma'am.
feel like that, like you are feeling.
Thanks.
I
ma'am, I
think
have
this opinion can be like from everyone. I always like, I started with the session that you are one of my favorite, like whom I really wanted to have listen to more and more and more for the whole session, whole night we can listen to you. But definitely we have the time constraint. Right?
Yeah, I'm seeing that I took a lot of time. So
But
like
everybody
people,
has enjoyed, ma'am. We have like few of the questions, I believe.
yes,
Satish ji,
take it.
you please go ahead first.
yeah, ma'am. Just now I got small doubt.
Yes,
Regarding
definitely.
if we go for any friend's house or relative's house, can we eat fruits or food there over there? Because we don't know whether they have righteous way they have earned the money and they are giving the food. So is that righteous way to eat in their home? So do we need to think anything about it?
No, we don't have to think so much in depth about that. Because then when you have this doubt, you think of them on the soul level. Okay, whenever you are thinking of this, I'm having, when you think that, okay, this food is like, the food is made out of garlic or something, that you can politely tell them that, no, I cannot. Generally, we should not take anything that is made, that is used garlic inside it. So generally, you should say no. And if at all, you have to go to a place where you think that it has not been a righteous way that they have given us the food. They are serving the food to us. So generally what we should do is, if we can tell them politely, no, we cannot. Otherwise, you should always think them at the soul level.
Okay, we don't know how they earn the money, and like
then we don't then we don't even want to listen. You just go and you feel that oneness with them. You always be in that oneness. So what happens is that when we become one, when our heart chakra opens, then these questions will generally not come. Okay. I don't know whether. So we should think of, so I'm not judging you, Satish ji. First of all, I'm not judging you, because these questions can come. And this is a very nice question that you have put forward, because this is a learning question which anybody can learn. So generally, we should open our heart chakra and come in that universal love. They are also a part of me. So when the Bhagwan Shri Krishna became like, he made everybody see that Vishwarup. So Vishwarup means that person, that in Vishwarup, Duryodhan was also there. All the Kauravas were also there. The Mahapurush, the Adi Purush, or the Vishwarup didn't have just the good things. They had also the bad things, the shady things of our lives. But when we accept this and we tell, whenever we have the form, when we always say, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi, Brahmagno Brahmanahutam, Brahmeva Tena Gantavya, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Right? Ki whatever I am taking, I am Brahma, and the food I am taking is also Brahma. And Brahma is also going inside Brahma, and the resultant will also be a Brahma. So when we say all this, we are transforming that energy.
Okay.
The negative energy will also get transformed.
Okay.
Fine. So it's that intention, or it's a thought that is changing. And probably that thought, somebody has served you food with very nice intentions, but we think that the person is not right. And probably, I don't know what the food is. I don't know. So that good food, like Amrit, can also change into a bad thing. That will not help us. Right? That will not assimilate in our gut, because we are always having a doubt. And when we shift, there is a paradigm shift, that whatever this food, this is also a Brahma. And it is going inside, and we are also a Brahma. So that will change.
Yeah, got it, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yes, Azilarisi.
Yeah, Azilarisi.
Hello, masters. I've connected from Tamil Nadu, South India.
Okay, great.
Very nice session, ma'am. You have opened new ideas to me on uterus. And though I know it is at the level of Swadhisthana, but considering it as an intellect part is a new version to me. It was a mind-blowing session for me, actually. I'm very much impressed, and very great wisdom sharing from you. I thought we miss your classes in here India. Actually, my sister Erilmati is in Australia. She gave this link to me and told she is taking a class on uterus, so you connect. So only I joined. It was nice, very nice, ma'am. I have a question. Nowadays, for these problems, removal of uterus is recommended, no? So what can be done at that stage? if no other choice, like for cancer, they suggest you can.
Yes. It's a very nice question, Azlirasi ji. So
Mhm.
what happens is that when there is so much of emotional turmoil that the uterus is going through, okay? There is lot of turmoil. And when the uterus is not able to take it, because like it has been emotionally abused and abused. It has not been taken care of. It has been totally neglected. So what happens when somebody is neglected? It becomes rigid. It becomes like a stone, right? You become a stone-hearted person. When you're not taken care of, when you're not understood, when you're not heard, you become like a stone, right? And there is so much of emotional turmoil and abuse, emotional abuse that has been happened to uterus. So it just surrenders. It just don't want to stay there. Like a child who has been emotionally and mentally abused so much, the child wants to run away. So the uterus also thinks, it's better that I don't want, I'm not here. So it starts showing up those symptoms where it is not required. It doesn't want to stay there. He said, "Ki meri zarurat hi nahi hai yahan pe. I'm of no use over here. So why should I stay over
Yeah,
here?"
ma'am.
So it wants to go. Fine. And the other aspect is when earlier signs it is showing, it doesn't come on one day. You'll come to know about a tumor inside your uterus. So tumor is what? Tumor means bridge concept. Bridge concept means what? That there is something inside you that you always wanted to do, but you have been avoiding this continuously and constantly. You have to ASAP, you have to start doing that. Like, for example, our Chandra Modali sir, he really wanted to teach. He always had this yearning of teaching, but he didn't. And he was having a problem of small tumors. He started teaching, and slowly the tumors dissolved. Right? In the same manner, the tumors of uterus will dissolve, but to a certain extent. After that, it won't be able to take and it won't to be removed. Surgically, if it is not in our hands, we get it removed, but there on the energy level, the uterus is still there.
Oh.
The uterus is still there. So we should always take care because it is the seat of creativity.
Superb, ma'am. So the physical form only is removed.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I'm much clear now because my sister has been advised for removal. We were all worried. Now this gives a great clarity to decide.
Yes. And on the energy level, on the etherical level, the uterus will always be there. And she has to work on her creativity. That's for sure.
We are in whole family, we are meditating and giving energy support to her. So this session is a wonderful and apt session for our whole family. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I just want to share one thing, ma'am. No question from my end, but I want to suggest, we are recording this on YouTube. You can also forward this to your sister so that she can listen directly, the wisdom part. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. I'll get the link.
Yeah, thank you.
And on the top of your Kalpana note, Rasiji, you can tell your sister or on behalf of her, you can register on the Google platform where we are taking the Acharya Sangatya, where she can be having a one-to-one counselor. They can be a little bit of the proper guidance for her, how to follow on further. So that's all will be the spiritual guidance for this path.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Masters, anybody is having any other questions or something to say?
So I will I will just leave because my son is having temperature, so I have to go and
Oh,
help him.
then ma'am, seriously, like it's really, really late for you. We are not going to stop you anymore. Thank you so much. Sincere gratitude, and we will just allow you to leave. Thank you,
you, ma'am.
thank you, thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much, and deep
Thank
gratitude
you.
for all you masters who are here.
Thank
Love
you,
you
ma'am.
all.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
You, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.